Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more such tutorials. And in this today's tutorial, we're going to see how we can create a simple FPS player controller in the Unity game engine. So this process is very much simple and very fast and easy to apply to your project. And I'm not going to show you how to code it. I'm just going to give you the code and you can just add it to your own project. So there are only two scripts that we'll need for this. So as you can see, I've got an empty scene over here. There's nothing in it. So now for the first, let's add plane to it. This is going to be a ground, so let's plane it to ground. Let's make this position in the very center of our scene. And as you can see, this is very small, so let's scale it a little bit so we can just move around. And after adding the ground, what we're going to do is create a player. So for creating a player, let's first create an empty object. Let's rename it to player. This is going to be a player. After creating the player, what we're going to do is add a character controller to it, just like that. So after adding the character controller, let's position our player somewhere in between. So let's just move it around and let's see what fits this. So as you can see, here's our player. So for making it a little bit bigger, let's increase player's height like this. You can see this is going to be a player which we are going to control and move for our FPS tutorial. And for the very next thing, let's add the camera to it. So let's add a camera. We name it to main camera. Just like that. After doing so, the main camera is not the child of the player, so let's just drag it in the player. So make sure that the main camera is the child of the player so that it moves along with it. And after doing so, let's just adjust it such that it is just like on the head of the player. It is on the top of the player's head so that you can get a proper view. As you can see, the camera is exactly at the head section of a player. So now let's do one thing. We need to create another empty object. I'll tell you why we're going to create it. Let's just create another empty object and rename it to ground check. So just be with me for some time and I'll tell you why we are creating this object. So after creating this object, what we are going to do is we are going to position it at the bottom of a player. At the bottom of a player. So yes, let's drag it in something like this so that it must be exactly underneath a player. Yes, just like that. And after doing this, these are the two scripts that we're going to need to make a player move and rotate the mouse. So let's just drag it into a player. First this, second this. So as you can see, here we have added the two scripts. The first is the mouse movement and the second is the player movement. Here we have got many options over here. So this is for the mouse sensitivity. You can adjust the sensitivity according to what you prefer. And these are the clamps so that our player does not move the mouse more than the predefined values, and it is inside the limits. So these two clamps are for restricting the player to from rotation. And after this, you can see in the player movement script we have got some values over here. You can just adjust it according to your needs. And in this ground check section, this is why we have created the ground check variable, ground check object. So what we are going to do is drag the ground check object into this, just like that. And after dragging and dropping it over here, we need a ground mask. So if you don't have it, what you're going to do is go to the ground and in the layers section, go to add layer, and just like that, add this layer, ground layer, to your scene. And after doing this, go to the layer in the ground section and select the ground one. If you will not do this, your game won't work. So make sure you do it correctly. Otherwise, your player will fly infinitely, or when you jump, you will jump unlimited times without any restrictions. So make sure to do this correctly. Otherwise, a game won't work properly. After doing so, let's just select the ground mask to be the ground, just like that. And after doing all this, our game should work fine.
As you can see, our game has started, and we can see that the game is working pretty fine. We are able to control a player, and we are able to jump. So this is how we can create simple movement script in Unity. So thank you for watching the video, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you find this helpful. See you again in the next tutorial. Thank you.